video is brought to you by my patrons and by viewers like you. Greetings, groovy people. Welcome to Blue Dragon Art. I am the self-proclaimed Blue Dragon. This is an art-related channel, and I talk about art-related things. I'm going to jump right into this because every year I do an annual recap, a retrospective on my previous year's goals, and also set out my goals for the year to come. So that's what this video is going to be. There's going to be a lot of reviewing. It's mostly for me to keep myself on track since I am self-employed. I have to keep myself on track and organized. If it inspires you to get organized and helps motivate you to kind of keep yourself on track for your own goals, that's far out and solid, and that's kind of why I like to present these publicly. But it's also so that it's a quick reference for myself. None of this is to be for shaming people or myself over not completing goals, as we will find out when I go over my 2025 goals. I didn't get a lot of them done, and that's okay because, again, it's just mostly to kind of keep me on track and keep projects present in my mind, in my worldview, because it's very easy while I'm focusing on the minutia to forget about like the bigger picture things that I'm interested in getting done. So that's why I do these. No shame, and you shouldn't shame yourself either, okay? I'm just saying, don't beat yourself up if you can't get something done, because life is hard and it's busy, and, you know, if you get anything done, that's a fucking good thing, okay? How any of us get anything done makes me just fucking amazed, okay? Alright, first off, for these videos, the goals that I set for myself are in these categories. Dark Horse goals. That's my free, not safe for work, post-apocalyptic magical girl fantasy. You can read it if you want. If you're an adult, the link's down in the description. Art goals. Community goals. And video goals. Those are the categories. Starting off in 2025, I always put on my list for Dark Horse goals to finish scripting it out. I do that because I know I'm not going to finish it. So, did I finish that in 2025? No, I did not. I also have on here that I wanted to have a buffer for like a year. I didn't get that either. I did have a buffer for a little bit, and that let me get caught up for the holidays. So, while I didn't get like the whole buffer that I had set out for, it did really help me get projects done in the fall. So, I did have a buffer for a little while in the fall and winter, okay? I also had that I wanted to complete Act 14. I'm still working on Act 14, so no, that was not completed. I wanted to create like an 80 sub special for my Comic Fury website. I like to do that. It's kind of like a little celebration for when I hit like landmarks, but I didn't have a chance to do it. And now I'm at like 90 something subscribers, so maybe I should just make it like odd numbers or something. I don't know. We'll see. So no. Did I get started on the Dark Horse Fashion Zine Rena? Yes, I did. There's a goal I achieved. Did I do at least one Dark Horse one-shot? Yeah, I did not only one, but 2 one-shots. And did I get started on Volume 1 redrawing and fixing things up? No, I did not. And actually, now that I think about it, I'm not going to, and I'll talk about that in my 2026 goals. That moves us along to the 2025 community goals. I wanted to get at least 2 to 3 projects done that were community oriented. And I actually ended up doing 3 of them, I think. No, actually 4. I did VDSD. I do that every year in February. I participated with Cool World. I did the Not Safe for Work XXXmas exchange this December. Actually, it started in November, but that I also did with Cool World. So that was 2 projects. I hit that goal. And then I had like the Comic Fury Zine one-shots. I kind of double dipped on the Dark Horse goals. But since it is community oriented and we're all kind of working together to produce something, I consider this goal 100% met. Did I promote indie comics? That's something that I always like to do. And yeah, I totally did. I do it on like Blue Sky. I did it on Instagram. I made at least 6 videos talking about over 10 comics. Actually, probably more than that, considering that Comic Fury Zine has like 9 comics almost every time. So yeah, I definitely hit that community goal of supporting my own independent webcomic community. Did I participate in social groups? That's something that I kind of have to remind myself to do because I can get very insular and kind of isolated, and I think I was pretty active in Discord. I still have to like step away every now and then just because I get overwhelmed with like online communications. It's just too fast and too much for me, for my little brain. I much prefer like in-person communications, but I also really like the familiarity and the friendliness and the support that, you know, we can give each other online in online cyberspaces. So cyberspaces, how the fuck I am old, whatever. I'm very much like I don't know. I'm like the queen of radical acceptance. If you've ever heard that Chris Christopherson song, The Pilgrim, where he's like, he's a walking contradiction. That's kind of also how I live my life, because I get very cynical about online stuff and in real life stuff, but then I also really love doing online stuff, and then I really love doing in-person stuff. So I don't know. I don't know what I want, apparently. I want to do it all and I want to do nothing. It's a paradox, you know? But yeah, so I had to keep tabs on myself and make sure that I'm, you know, like interacting with people in all of my important spaces in my life. And that includes like the Comic Fury forums, not like super active. I did a lot of posting in like the forums for the pet tab, basically. Everyone's showing off your pets, and the cooking thread and stuff like that, and like the community threads and stuff like that. And actually, I kind of, I think considered the fact that I tried to like pull cameos from like independent spaces and comics and stuff. I did that for Dark Horse this year, and I really had a good time doing it. And I really hope that in that way, like, while people were helping me by letting me use their character designs, I hope that also kind of coupled and like helped promote their comics as well. I tried to make sure that everything was linked so that people could get to like the artist comics and check them out if they like a character design. So yeah, I'd say I hit that goal. Update the submission guidelines for Comics Fury Zine, the videos. Yeah, I did that. It needed to be done, and so I did it. Participate in Words and Pictures this year. Yeah, I did that. And also promote Comic Fury Zine. Yeah, I did that on Reddit and on my social medias and on Comic Fury. And yeah, so I hit that goal. So huzzah! Yay! 2025 art goals. I wanted to do continued education. And yes, I participated in an in-person, on-campus community college course that I think really was beneficial, and I would like to do it again, but also I wanted to give the professor a break because the shit that I'm working on is pretty heavy, and I feel like I was kind of bringing the whole class down. So I'm not signing up for it in 2026, but I might circle back around in 2027 if he does it again. Okay, did I work on my inking, pacing, and backgrounds? Yeah, I do. It really ebbs and flows, and it really depends on how much time I have and how fast I am and where my inspiration is. This is going to be a goal that I will keep on my list probably forever until I'm a professional artist, and even then I will keep it on there because there's always room for improvement, right? Faster flatting was on there as well because I do like flatting work for a friend and associate of mine, and I'm still working on that. I'm trying to figure out how to do it fast and accurate. I don't know. I do the best I can. I also wanted to participate in markets, at least 1 to 2. And I did participate in one market at a friend's house. And I made $30. And I did not have to pay for booth rent. So it was pure profit, you guys. Pure profit. It was fucking amazing. It was fucking amazing. Oh, can we circle back to the 2025 community goals? I forgot to mention, even though I didn't get into the Portland Zine Symposium, they sent out emails to everyone who participated at least twice in the past, and I got invited to do a short comic, so I did 2 pages of a comic for Portland Zine Symposium, and I'll put it up here, and if they end up selling them somewhere, I'll put a link somewhere. But yeah, if you're ever in Portland fall when they're having the symposium, y'all should check it out. It's fucking amazing. There's such a plethora of amazing independent zinesters. It's such a cool atmosphere, and it's very much engenders positivity, in my opinion, and helps to uplift people in the zine community. So check it out. I talk about it every year, so if you're in the area and I'm talking about it, you should go check it out. All right, last for the 2025 goals are the video goals, and I wanted to do better editing. I don't know, yay and nay. I think for the most part, the audio and video quality was okay. That's mostly what I'm looking for, and if I can add some animations and do some fun things, that's cool, but that's not like the main focus of the channel. I'm happy with what I did. Y'all tell me, well, do I want to know? Do I want critique on the videos? I don't think I want critique. Because this isn't like my field. I do what I can. I do the best I can. I hit my goals, and I hope y'all are enjoying the videos. How does that sound? Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm sorry. I had on here to be true to myself. Yeah, I mean, what else am I gonna do? I don't chase the trends. I did talk about AI generative graphics and slop, but not because it was a trend. I mean, I've been sitting on videos for that for like years, and I finally was able to like put out my incomplete thoughts on that. But I try to not like, people were doing like a free rent thing, and then people were being, I don't know, man, there's always like some kind of drama and stuff, and I like to avoid the drama, so I don't go chasing the views. I try to stay true to myself, and I hope that that's appreciated, and I watch the videos that are drama and what's going on in the art community. I just don't want to make them, and I never have any comments, I just, whatever. I wanted to get my intro video done to like explain what this channel is. So that I can kind of sort of stop having to say, this is an art-related channel. I mean, it's called Blue Dragon Art. I'm sure you all know what it's about. But I tend to want to say it anyway. But no, I haven't made my intro video. I need to look around for the work that I got started on it. With like a little animated stand-in that was going to be very lazily animated. But I can't... Oh my god, you guys, I need to fucking clean this goddamn office. It's awful. That's going to be on my 2026 goals. And also I said don't stress. So, I didn't stress for the most part. I did stress a little bit, but not as much as I have in the past. Okay, at the end of that section, I usually like to do the roundup for my tally, how many videos I put out. And I did 26 videos this year, so that's not bad. I'm doing 2 videos a month, sometimes 3, usually 2. And that makes me happy. Now, before we get into my 2026 goals that nobody cares about but myself, well, maybe it'll inspire you. I don't know. I also like to express which books that I read in the previous year. So I'm just going to tell y'all what books I read. And this is a combination of graphic novels and text novels. I will indicate when it's a text novel and when it's a graphic novels. And the first thing that I got read in 2025 was Delicious in Dungeon, Volume 4 by Ryoko Kui. I read Optic Nerve, which is a text novel, but it's also got a lot of pictures in it because it was about the pop art movement. Very fucking fascinating. My Picture Diary graphic novel by Fujiwara Maki. I did a video on that because it was for my class. Most of these were for my class, but some of them were for myself. On Tyranny by Timothy Snyder. I think it's such a short book, you guys, but it's I think it should be required reading. If you can get a hold of it at the library or even buy it, it's really fucking not that long. It's not that hard of a read. I Never Promised You a Rose Garden. That was by Manny Murphy. That was a graphic novel. I Have Chosen to Stay and Fight, Margaret Cho. This was a depressing reread. I read this in college in like 2005. And it was depressing. I was reading it to feel uplifted and motivated, but it was depressing because all of the fucking social struggles that she was talking about 20 fucking years ago we're still suffering through today. So it ended up really just kind of making me depressed instead of making me, fired up. But it did fire me up a little bit because it pissed me off that we're still dealing with this. So I guess it was an okay read. That's a textbook, by the way. Well, a text-laden book. It wasn't a visual novel. Fun Home by Alison Bechtel. Holy shit, you guys. You should read that. That's amazing. It's a graphic novel, as is Hot Comb by Ebony Flowers. That was really good. Same thing for My New York Picture Diary. Julie Doucet, I think. It's either Doucet or Doucet. I think it's Doucet because she's French-Canadian. The Complete Persepolis by Marjane Satrapi. That was great. I read the first part in college, but I never finished the second part, so it was good to revisit that graphic novel. Palestine by Joe Sacco was also amazing, and I want to read more of his shit. I've got another one of his books on here in just a minute. Hark, a Vagrant by Kate Beaton was suggested to me by an online friend, Snowy. Thank you for that suggestion. I took it to class and the professor was impressed, so I got to look impressive because somebody else told me to read something. And we were like bringing graphic novels for show and tell like every class. He's like, if you have something you're reading and you want to share it, show it. Paying the Land by Joe Sacco was so incredibly good. Also a graphic novel. I bought a copy of it for my mom for Christmas because she's always very interested in reading and learning about indigenous cultures. And I think that's a good read for anyone, especially if you're not indigenous, to just kind of give you like basically Joe Sacco is like an interviewer. He interviews and then he does the artwork. So he's essentially like giving these people a voice and you're hearing what they are saying rather than somebody else writing about them, if that makes sense. This one I picked myself. It's a graphic novel called Profit Against Slavery by David Lester. I might be doing a video about that in Veganuary because this graphic novel was, while it was targeting a younger audience, it was essentially about a little person who was a Quaker in the 1800s who was a huge abolitionist to the degree that like the Quakers, like a lot of the Quakers were, they're supposed to be more liberal, but they were like pissed off at him and groups kept kicking him out. Him and his wife, who were both little people, they were, very outspoken against slavery. And he was very progressive and ended up inspiring a lot of the younger folks within the Quaker faith to eventually become anti-slavery. And the reason why I want to talk about it in Veganuary is because he was so incredibly fucking liberal that he is, we think, one of the first vegans. We don't know for sure. I mean, there might have been some Janes or some other people who were vegan, but I like literally one of the first people in Western society vocally speaking out against consuming animal products. So I recorded talking about that. However, he primarily, most of his work that is very important that we need to pay attention to was his work against slavery. I also read graphic novels, or graphic comics, because they're smaller than novels. Red Fan Volume 1 by Jennifer Jablad, I pronounce her name wrong, I'm awful. She's got a YouTube channel. And La Barba. Text novel is Gondolier by Casey Conroe. It's a magical realism book, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It's an indie author, you guys, so if you can find it, buy a copy of it. It's really good. I bought it used, but you can maybe find a not used copy. And then I read Delicious in Dungeon, Volume 5 through 13. I'm almost done with the series. Oh, it's so good, you guys. It's so good. Those are mangas. Women, Race, and Class by Angela Davis. This is a book I should have read years ago. I've read a lot of the people that she talks about, primarily because I worked at the Lincoln Home, so I read, stuff by Frederick Douglass. W.E.B. Du Bois, well, it's Du Bois. He pronounces it Du Bois. Americans pronounce it Du Bois, I should say. I know about a lot of his works because my ex-partner was doing black labor history and black history on the black migration, the great migration from the South up north. But I'd never read Angela Davis, which is really stupid because she was a Black Panther. She is also a vegan. Actually, maybe I should talk about that. No, I'm not. I'm not going to talk about it. I might make mention of it, but maybe not. But yeah, she's a vegan. She's vegan. But that's not what she's talking about in this book, obviously. And then the last book that I read was Be My Guest by Priya Basil. It was an interesting read about community and food and preparing food and how community comes together over food and the, cultural things regarding food. It was an interesting read. I would describe it as if one was having a conversation with someone, but you were doing all of the listening. I didn't agree with everything she had to say, but it was very stream of conscious, very loosely, not really organized into anything. It was very clearly, just kind of her thoughts on different things and experiences and how food relates to that, which I found interesting, but I also had a lot of things that I disagreed with because it was an opinion piece. There's no one can know everything. So there was a little bit of misunderstanding and misrepresentation. I also was kind of off-put by her tricking one of her Islamic friends or Muslim friends into eating ham. That was not cool. I think she kind of like she was very young, I think, when she did it. So, I mean, like, you know, how much forgiveness does one need to ask for when you're a child doing it? But at the same time, I think her parents should have maybe taught her to be a little more respectful of that. I don't know. Again, it's just stream of conscious. I'm sure she's not like proud of the fact that she did that. It was just something that she kind of like a confessional. You know what I'm saying? Like the book feels like a bit of a confessional stream of conscious. It was interesting. And it was very short. So it was very easy to read. So, hey, you know, I'm all down for that. I read it on the train. I got it done before the train trip. And I'm a slow ass reader. As you can see, most of the books that I read in 2025 were graphic novels because I can get those read a lot quicker than like a text novel, a text-based novel, I should say. Okay. And now, the moment that I've been waiting for. I'm just kidding. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. Boy, I sure as shit crack myself up, don't I? I don't know why. Okay. And now for my 2026 goals. Again, the goals are Dark Horse goals, community goals, art goals, and video goals. You start with Dark Horse. Finish scripting it. The next goal that I have here is to do 52 pages for a buffer in 6 months. Or the option of doing 2 pages per week. Trying to make things simple for myself. Trying to break it down. Trying to make it achievable. I want to complete Act 14 and begin Act 15. I think that's achievable. Draw 6 of the 12 outfits that Rena wears for the Dark Horse fashion zine, Rena. 1 Dark Horse one-shot. And I am putting off starting volume 1, and the reason why is because I've already revamped this comic a couple times. One major revamp that I just finished. And to be quite honest, I have decided, it takes me a while to come to this revelation, you guys. I should wait until I actually finish this fucking comic before I go back and do any redraws and try to do like a volume 1. So, I've taken that off my list. I'm postponing it. I still would love to do a volume 1 with some fixed artwork and stuff like that, but I'm going to wait until I get the first series done. Now, let's move along to the community goals. For 2026, I would like to do 2 to 3 community projects. I do that every year. I like to keep that number. It's nice and doable. Promote indie comics. Gotta keep that on there. Gotta keep a reminder. This is about uplifting other people as well as broadcasting my own art projects. Stay active in social groups, both in reality and cyberspace. And, of course, promote Comic Fury Zine. So pretty much the same thing as last year. Just about. My video goals, do the best of my ability at editing. I am now using DaVinci Resolve. I got a rant video coming out pretty soon about why. And also some updates. 2 videos a month. I like that schedule. It's way less stressful than doing a video a week. So I'm going to keep with it. Hey, there's positivity. I like how things have been going. And I like not scheduling them either. I like just doing it whenever I feel like it. Okay? It's for my mental health. I gotta do what I gotta do for my mental health because I take on too much, okay? I am a heavy horse. I am prone to take on heavy workloads, okay? Do the artwork for my damn intro video, which as soon as I'm done recording this audio, I'm gonna see if I can find it. Oh my god, I don't want to start from scratch. I really liked what I was working on. It's one of my avatars that I use. Not that I use for YouTube, but that I use for like my other art stuff, so... Oh man, I really need to find that. Plan an interview video. Last year, somebody suggested that I could hit 2 goals with the community goal and the video goals and other shit if I just do an interview. And I want to do one, but I don't know who to interview, you guys. I don't know who to go to. It just feels so weird. So, any suggestions of people within the indie community, I guess let me know in the comments, and I'll see if I can find... I need to, like... see how I should do this, but yeah, maybe like 1 interview or 2 a year. I don't know. We'll see. I've got it on my set to do, so we'll see if I'll do it. And of course, do not stress. Do not stress is our mantra. We will get through this. We will get projects done, whether it's at a snail's pace or a hare's pace. I don't fucking know, you guys. What am I even trying to say? We're gonna do it. We're gonna get our art done. We're gonna do it. And we're going to be happy that we get anything done. We are always going to strive to be better.
I don't care what everyone's been saying. You're getting better.
But we'll be happy with ourselves if we can't reach the goals that we set for ourselves immediately. We'll get there eventually, right? Okay, that's just what I'm telling myself. It's really more, if I can brainwash myself into this. I'm just kidding, y'all. I'm being silly now. All right, I gotta go. I got shit to do. I gotta find that shit for the intro video. This will be the year that I need to do it. Oh my God. Oh. All right, I'm out of here, y'all. Be safe. Happy New Year. Help each other out. Be supportive of each other. Watch each other's backs. And I will see y'all later. Peace and love. Fare you well. And keep on trucking. I might make fucking almighty. Why am I doing that?